Hey, Mark, Shepard here, America's Stop Anxiety Expert, and I want to welcome you to this video because this is for people who may have some mild anxiety, but it's also, I'm going to share some information that even if you have like extreme anxiety, this will be helpful. And I want to just really share it with you from my heart because I am a former anxiety sufferer and I have found some tools that actually work. But before I get into those, I want to just kind of share a little bit about who I think you might be, and just to make sure that we're together and in alignment. You're someone who is probably very highly sensitive, and you have a very vivid imagination. You're probably very intelligent. I have no dumb anxiety clients. Anxiety is essentially a process where we imagine what we don't want to have happen out in our future, and then it ends up internalizing into our physiological experience. So in order to do that, you actually have to be pretty imaginative. You have to be intelligent. You have to be creative. So anxiety it's kind of a double-edged sword because ultimately our ancestors who were able to go out into the future and imagine what they didn't want to have happen were able to take remedial steps. So they didn't want to freeze to death in the winter. They dried food, they built shelter, they made sure they had warm animal skins to wrap themselves in. So those ancestors of ours survived. So ultimately, anxiety or worry is thinking about what you do not want to have happen. Now, how is that impacting you in your life? Here's the other little piece that most people don't know. Your unconscious mind, you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is pretty much everything you're not thinking of right now. So pretty much I'm pretty sure that right now you're not thinking about your left pinky toe, except now you are, right? And you're not thinking, oh, my left pinky toe needs a little bit more oxygen, a little better blood supply. No, you're not thinking that, but your unconscious mind is. And while you were thinking of your pinky toe, like who is taking care of breathing your lungs and beating your heart, right? A lot of how our body functions is beyond our daily conscious control. And that's a good thing because there's a lot that's going on that our conscious mind can't manage and deal with daily life. So you have a conscious mind to deal with daily life, and meanwhile your unconscious mind is kind of the background program handling all the stuff that you don't need to have to think about, right? However, if you hold in your conscious mind an image of something that you do not want to have happen, your unconscious mind begins to take that as a command to respond biophysically, biochemically. So let's play for a second. I want you to imagine biting into a lemon. Imagine you go to the refrigerator, there's a bowl of lemons, the sun is shining in the window, it's a hot day. You're going to just squeeze a wedge of lemon into a glass of water and just get that refreshing drink. But as you're cutting the lemon, you see the pungent oils just spray up into the air and the sun catches it and you get that wonderful lemon fresh smell. And then, I don't know, you just take a big wedge of lemon and you pop it into your mouth and you bite down into it and just the sour citrus lemon just explodes on your tongue. And if you are like most people, you probably have more saliva in your mouth right now. That is proof of the mind-body connection. If you hold an image in your mind that requires a biochemical response, example like fight or flight, you imagine, I don't know, getting in an elevator, and let's say you have an elevator phobia and you're anxious about, oh God, tomorrow I'm going to have to ride an elevator, and you're holding that in your mind. Well, you're going to get the same fight or flight reaction as if you're really in the elevator. Does that make sense? So a lot of the tools that I have are designed to give you power. Now, let's talk about what hasn't worked in the past. All right? If you're like most of my clients, if you're like most of the people that have found me over the years for help, you are someone who has tried talk therapy. You probably are like, I got to talk about this. And you go and you talk about the things that make you anxious. And what it does is it literally brings those events up into your mind. So you're thinking about it, seeing it, hearing it, feeling it inside your mind. And your body, again, is reacting with the anxiety response because your unconscious mind is hardwired to do that. So talking about anxiety really doesn't help. You end up now anchoring anxiousness to going to your appointments. And this is kind of natural. It's what we do. We anchor, that's an NLP term from neurolinguistics. We anchor good feelings and bad feelings. We anchor physiological knee-jerk responses. Like when you come to a traffic light, it turns red and you stop. You don't think, that is a lovely shade of red. I wonder what it means as you drive through the intersection. No, you see red, you stop. You see green, you go. You see yellow, half the population speeds up, half the population slows down. Right? Those are anchors, and we can create anxiety anchors everywhere around. It could be social anxiety. You see a group of people, and that triggers your anxiety. Or you see an elevator, or think of a plane flight, or any number of things. Speaking in public. I work with a lot of people who are terrified of getting up and speaking in public, and it's literally stopping their career advancement. It just stops them. So these are all different things, but they're happening in your mind. So again, I'll be teaching you tools in this course how to take charge of that so that your mind is under your control, not you being the victim of a runaway imagination. All right. So the next thing people do is they try to go and get the drugs. Right. We have all kinds of wonderful drugs today that promise to alleviate anxiety. One of them is even called Aleve. Right. Well, what do the drugs do? The drugs mess around with the chemistry in your brain, and many of them, unbeknownst to the general public, are highly, highly addictive. They're designed to make you need more. And we tend to need more of them, and then they come out with a new drug, and your doctor or your psychiatrist switches you to one of the new improved drugs, right? And what I hear from clients is that they take the drug and it helps for a while, and then it stops helping. Well, there is something called the placebo effect, which is very powerful. So, again, the drugs don't actually change the process of creating anxiety. They just work with the symptom. And ultimately, do you want to live your life that way? Do you want to live your life forever at the mercy of this anxiety that comes all over you, and the only way to deal with it is to pop a drug? It's good for the economy, but it's not good for you. And, the drugs have an effect on your liver. They're toxic. I mean, we're talking about all the drugs that have been flushed down the toilet, getting into the drinking water and poisoning the environment. And you're putting that in your body? I don't know. Is there another way? Yes, there is. And that's what I want to share with you today. I have created a very basic course. It's called the Basic Crush Anxiety Course. And it's designed to help you run through 7 different techniques that you can do either separately or combined. And you can do them throughout your day, and they work. So where did I come up with these tools? Well, I was an anxiety sufferer. I am a singer-songwriter, guitarist, percussionist, storyteller, creative type person. I also do paintings. And at one point, I had so much anxiety about performing my music that I quit. And I just started making paintings instead, because the paintings I didn't have to perform them, And the idea, I would literally make myself sick before a performance. And when I was doing the performance, I could force myself to get on stage, but it didn't have the life, it didn't have the joy that playing my guitar or piano in my living room had, for example. And so that made me depressed, because I was born to make this beautiful music, and I couldn't do it, so that would be discouraging. And so then I would eat, and I was eating foods that weren't helpful. And so it just was a spiral. I had no energy because I was eating foods that I had, sensitivities to. I was discouraged and depressed, so that, kind of put a damper on my immune system, so I would get sick a lot. I would run pictures of horrible things happening. And it was just this cycle. And I finally started working on myself. I started doing really deep, difficult work on myself. And I began to find things that helped, things that got me almost immediate results. And if I kept doing them, I really made progress. And if I stopped doing them, I would slide back to where I was. So I began to collect what I call my tools, the tools that I use every day to create an amazing day every day, to literally use the same muscle that creates anxiety, but to create a literal magical experience of life pretty much almost every day. No one has a perfect life. No one lives life without problems. We all have challenges. I'd like to call problems challenges. But I came up with these 7 tools that are designed for you to use them in various situations, and they work. They work and they work. If you use the tools, they work. Particularly if you're willing to make them a habit, right? And that takes a little time and a little practice. So I was working with people one-on-one. People were flying in to work with me from all over the country. I was doing phone sessions all over the world with people by Skype. And it occurred to me that I could help more people if I took my basic tools and put them into a course and charge just a very, very nominal fee so that you can get benefit from it. And so that's what I want to offer you today. I want to give you a chance to try out my 7 anxiety crushing secrets. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but here's the deal. It's very affordable. Just the price is below, and it is so affordable. And here's the deal. I want you to try it risk-free. Just give it a shot. You know, there's not a big sales pitch here. It's just if you have anxiety, if you're struggling with worry, anxiety, panic attacks, phobias, these could give you some peace, some relief. And they can do it quickly without having to make an appointment, without putting drugs in your body. And they work. I use them every day sometimes. Sometimes stuff comes up in my life and I'm like, man, I'm glad I have these tools. If I didn't have these tools, what would I do? And so I want to offer them to you. I want to share them with you in a way that's a win-win for both of us. And so there's more information about what's in the basic course. And again, check it out. It costs very little. You can get started and give it a full, thorough test. Give it a test in your own life. Run through the 7 anxiety crushers. You can do it today. It's instant downloadable. You will get the videos and access in just a minute. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and give it a shot. And if you want more information, there's plenty more information on this site. But really, go for it. Really. Really. I'm just saying really. I just mean this from my heart, people. This stuff works. And I am proof that it works. And I've had over 100,000 people try just one of the techniques. And just, the testimonials are from those people. But what if you had 7? Right? Now, if you want more, I have more. I have the next level, standard level, and there's like 23 anxiety crushers, and then there's the ultimate, and you get all kinds of extra bonuses and stuff. But today, it's just a simple, give it a shot, give it a try. If they work for you, then maybe you want to, take it a little farther, go a little deeper. You might want to work with me one-on-one. That's okay too. It doesn't matter. I just want to give you a chance to try these out. Try them out at no risk and see. Right? If they work for you, great. If not, well, at least you know, right? So give it a shot. Thank you so much. Mark Shepard, over and out for now.